Hey everyone. Here's the issue. Over the weekend, we recently found out that President Joe Biden was given a diagnosis of cancer. So, yes, prostate cancer to be more precise. And a lot of people are rather shocked. Everyone giving their own opinions. Now, look, here's my opinion of cancer. I hate it. I really do despise cancer in all of its forms, and I hate it. Too many people I know in my life, and I even had Larry Sharp on this show as well, talk about cancer. We did the story about the young man who wanted to meet Trump, who passed away from cancer. There's people that we know in our independent media community that have been dealing with cancer, and I don't wish that on anyone. I despise it because of how cancer by proxy has affected me and the people that I know. No, I don't have cancer or anything like that, but I know people who have been battling cancer in all of its different variations. And I hate cancer. I hate cancer. I hate cancer. But with that, I think it's important that we kind of look back. We got to travel back in time just a little bit, before we get to the breaking news that took over the weekend. Because we're going to time travel, thanks to Hotspot, when Joe Biden said he had cancer to 2022. An innocent year. Maybe it was.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
You heard that?
That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
This came out in 2022. That video, just for clarification. Here's an article, though, quickly, because the media was, or these at the Biden-Harris administration was saying, no, this was only skin cancer that Biden had. So President Biden said Wednesday that he has cancer, forcing the White House press office to quickly clarify that he was referring to skin cancer treatment that he had before taking office last year. The remark initially appeared to be stunning, a stunningly casual health announcement during a speech about global warming, which the president described emissions from oil refineries near his childhood home in Claymont, Delaware. That's why I and so many other people I grew up with have cancer, and why for the longest time Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation. White House spokesman Andrew Bates referred the post to a tweet from Washington Post columnist Glenn Kessler, who noted Biden had a non-melanoma skin cancers removed before he took office. It's unclear why Biden chose to use the present verb tense to describe his experience with cancer. He said, I have cancer in the present tense, you absolute dipshite, said Greg Price, X-Strategies of LLC, tweeted in response to Kessler. Anarchist author Michael Malice, meanwhile, joked, don't worry about Joe Biden having cancer. He is married to a doctor, referring to the fact that First Lady Jill Biden used the honorific doctor to note her 2007 doctorate in education. Now, like I said before, I despise skin cancer. I hate skin cancer. I hate all types of cancer. All right. Cancer sucks. All right. Brain cancer, prostate cancer, all of it. But let's go ahead and pull up with what happened over the weekend.
And a Fox News alert, words of support are pouring in for former President Joe Biden after his prostate cancer diagnosis. Former Vice President Kamala Harris says Biden is in her prayers as she wishes him a speedy recovery. Hillary Clinton also weighed in, offering the same words of encouragement.
Perhaps this is why Biden's doing his new media tour. Because perhaps, I don't know, one could speculate, in my opinion, that perhaps it's far more aggressive than we think, and it's going to get ugly.
California governor and former Biden surrogate Gavin Newsom posting on X that Biden is a man of dignity, strength, and compassion, while Pete Buttigieg chimed in to say Biden is a man of deep faith and extraordinary resilience. California Representative Ro Khanna calls the former president a fighter and says he will meet this challenge with grit and grace. Former senior advisor to Kamala Harris, Mike Nellis, is asking people to avoid partisan politics and to support and pray for the former president, while several others also weighed in.
I worked for him for a long time and saw up close how caring he is with his staff. It's hard, and his staff are taking it hard.
whatever your political persuasion, whatever your feelings are about how his career ended, whatever you think, this is a good and decent man who has served his country, and we're all pulling for him.
CNN commentator Van Jones also.
Now, obviously, there's many people giving out their outpours. Many people are saying that, oh my goodness, how could this happen? Who saw this happening? But the thing is, Morning Blow decided to weigh in, and perhaps that maybe no disagreement that Biden likely had cancer at the beginning of his presidency in 2021. And when it comes down to cancer, if you got one of it, there's a possibility there's more of it. All right, skin cancer is just the only thing. And remember, everyone, a lot of us were exposed, or at least that our previous generation was exposed to lead, okay? Lead paint, lead gas. What could go wrong? Oh, a lot can go wrong, my lovelies. So much can go wrong, but I want to pull up this video here. Now, the audio might be a little bit low, so I will be editing this when I am finished with the live stream, so let's play this.
You believe it is likely, if this prostate cancer has spread to the bone, that he could have had it for up to a decade, but certainly it's likely. Would it be fair to say it's likely to have had this for at least several years?
Oh, more than several years. You don't get prostate cancer.
So I just want to stop you. So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you were saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency.
Don't forget asbestos, Kit. Don't forget asbestos. Yes, I'm trying my very best to look at all the comments in the live stream chat. I'm looking at everybody commenting in here now. And look, you know, a lot of people are also weighing in like, okay, well, if he's had this, maybe this explains everything about Joe Biden's physical standing. And, you know, not only was he having some mental problems and physical problems, but perhaps this was also the cancer adding into all the other issues. You know, let's be clear here. For my viewing audience members who are caretakers, you know, there's a lot of things to take into account, especially if you're taking care of a senior citizen. And to be a caretaker, you know, it's not only just dementia or Alzheimer's, but, you know, you could be taking care of somebody who is literally, you know, being affected by cancer, and they're still mentally sound and everything else. But, you know, cancer is a devastating, horrific ailment that I don't wish on anybody. I don't, because I know what it does to people. I've seen what it does to people. I hate what it does to people, because there's people I know that I love that are either defeated it or still fighting it. I had one member in my Discord community message us at midnight saying that they defeated brain cancer. That was the Accord Lord, and I just wanted to say a huge shout out to him for that monumental victory. That's one person. I know a lot of other people too. But look at Biden's presidency now. Not only was there talk about him not being mentally sound, but he wasn't physically fit. I mean, the man, in my opinion, was at death's door. And he had the highest position in the land, the president of the United States, the presidency. And yet his body is falling apart. What else was being covered up? And Jake Tapper has the audacity now to put out a book saying, oh, this is such a big scandal. Who knew? All the media knew. The Democrats knew. Everybody knew.
See, in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
And I'm just curious again, if your doctor to a president of the United States that is a male, that is an older man, would a prostate test, and again, we're just talking about a PSA screening, a blood test that you could do along with all the other blood tests. It's not even that it would be intrusive. Would this not be one of the first tests that you would conduct as a White House doctor?
If you're a White House doctor in this situation, I think you would certainly discuss it with the president and talk about the pros and cons. I think if you then ask, well, if President Biden says, well, if I'm your father, which patients often do, what would you recommend? I think the fact is that most White House doctors would recommend getting the test. And again, the evidence is, look at President Obama, President Bush, younger than President Biden, and they both got the test.
Wow. And so I'm already seeing a lot of people in the live stream chat talk about cancer as well, what they're facing off against. And look, I'm sorry that you or anybody else that's in your immediate circle, to my audience members that are facing off against cancer, I'm very sorry that that has happened to all of you. I also want to pull up this video as well, because then you have Brian Stelter says the timing of Biden's cancer announcement is extraordinary before using the horrible news to market Jake Tapper's book. Jake Tapper's book. I know our friends at Do Dissidents, they talked about it. I mean, media, you knew something was wrong. Come on. Can we stop? Can we stop messing around here? Can we stop screwing around here for a second? All right. All of us. I don't care. I'm going to paint everyone with the same brush. Okay. Y'all going to be painted with the same brush. What about? I'm going to tell you what's going on here. We have all seen, either personally in our lives or our friends, or either that, seeing strangers, or in through the media, or reading in the newspaper, hearing on the radio, reading in a magazine about the signs of dementia, Alzheimer's, and also how a human starts falling apart gradually if they are affected with an ailment like cancer or anything else. Like we all know the signs, okay? So media, you can't be stupid in this day and age where we got our cell phones, our laptops, our computers, our cable television. I mean, we all see it. And when we see Biden walking and stuttering and shuffling around, I mean, put two and two together. Unless you are so blinded by the propaganda, which there are people who are blinded by the propaganda, you have the signs. Biden wasn't there. Okay? So vote blue no matter who. All the times you censored every single one of us in independent media. What do you have to say now? Oh, that's right. Nothing. Oh, hello? Hello? Nothing? So all that time we were saying, hey, something's wrong with Biden. Someone's wrong with Biden. Oh, no, they need to be censored, canceled. Oh, you're a secret Trump supporter. Oh, you're a racist. You're misogynist. You're bigoted. You're all this stuff. Guess what? The Democrat Party lied to you. The White House administration under Joe Biden lied to you. The media lied to you. They said it's all okay. It's all right. It's too early in the morning for me to snap like this, but come on. Stop being stupid here. Everybody knew. Even the media. They knew. And you know that we knew too. But it's okay. I'm not mad.
This is breaking news that came just about 2 hours ago, and it is now rippling through, television media, online. How are people consuming this? How is it reaching people?
And, I'm seeing some prostate cancer survivors, people who have lived with this disease, who have been through this, expressing support, both condolences, but also support and cheering Biden on as he faces this. The timing, Jessica, is just extraordinary. We know from the statement from his personal spokesman that Biden learned of the diagnosis on Friday. Well, what was the biggest Biden story on Friday? It was the release of those audio excerpts from his conversations with Robert Hur back in 2023. This was the audio that Axios obtained, almost certainly from the Trump administration, showing memory lapses. And you heard a lot of people on Friday talking about that audio being hard to hear, even excruciating to hear. Biden showing his age on those audio tapes that had never been heard by the public until now. So on the day that story was breaking, Biden was facing this personal news. At least that's according to the statement from his personal spokesman. So you have that as one element of the timing here. And then you have, as you and Paul just acknowledged, this book coming out, one of the biggest political books in several years. Take out our colleague Jake Tapper for a second. This book, no matter where it was coming from, was going to be a very big blockbuster book. And it just so happens two of the best reporters in Washington, Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson, are the authors of it. It's already a bestseller based on the number of pre-orders. And so this book comes out in 2 days, but some of the excerpts have already come out, and it's reignited this debate in Washington and beyond within the Democratic Party about Biden, about whether he should have run for re-election at all. So it seems to me, Jessica, this debate doesn't end at all, but it is briefly put on pause.
No, it's not put on pause, you moron. Here's the deal, Jack. The real deal. All you people who are tuning in and watching. I mean, the Democrats, you could just pull Biden aside and be like, hey, don't run. That's all. That's all the leadership had to do. Hey, Biden being a one-term president. That's all. Nobody would have looked into it any further. An argument could be made that maybe perhaps the primary, and dare I say it, maybe the general election could have gone differently unless the Democrats were really that afraid of Joe Biden and in turn Kamala and Jill Biden and whoever. Perhaps no one really had the wherewithal to think that the Democrats would lose as bad as they did on November in 2024. Who knew? 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 But we knew. I mean, it's funny seeing now a lot of the vote blue no matter who people wondering, oh, how did this happen? Why did this happen? What's going on? So just get an idea. So first of all, prostate cancers are given a score called a Gilson score that measures on a scale of 1 to 10 how the cancerous cells look compared with normal cells. Biden's office said his score was a 9, suggesting his cancer is among the most aggressive. So what does this mean? Well, if it's the most aggressive form, Biden doesn't have long in this world. All right? And look, I have made my opinion about the Biden-Harris administration very clear. But I also made my opinion about cancer. I don't like it. I don't like it due to how it's impacted people close to me in my life. And people who I've worked with. And people who I love. I hate cancer. But here's the thing about cancer. This is for some of us men here. Men. Open up, men. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up very carefully. Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer among men in the U.S., coming in behind skin cancer, according to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. 1 in 8 men in the country will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, the organization said. This year alone is estimated more than 313,000 men in the U.S. will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. As with other cancers, prostate cancer is brought on by normal cells in the prostate becoming altered and growing in an uncontrolled way. These altered cells can then form masses or tumors. Possible symptoms can include changes in urinating, like having to urinate frequently, difficulty starting or holding it back, weak or interrupted flow of urine, all that kind of stuff. And of course, blood in the urine, burning urination, all of that. This is a devastating thing to be afflicted with. But because it's in his bones, because it's a level 9, and also because Biden, when he was 82, had a lesion removed from his chest during a physical exam, can tell me one thing, that his skin cancer that he was dealing with, that the White House press at the time in 2022 was saying that, that was just a benign skin cancer. No, that was from the prostate cancer. When it gets that bad, the body falls apart. When it gets that bad, you see it. I don't know how many times I've had my audience tell me about the issues in which you have seen a loved one fight cancer. The administration lied. The administration from 2020 to 2024 knew very well that Biden was frail, that he didn't have what it took, that he was weak, and that everything that was told to us was a lie. I can never forgive the media or all those sycophants who told us to vote for Biden in 2020, who were all on board for the censorship. This is terrible. This is insulting. I know there's a lot of people making memes and jokes, but me, on the other hand, I'm furious. I'm furious that we had a political institution and our media constantly cover somebody and protect someone who was a liability. Our media cannot be trusted. And the thing is, an argument can be made that this isn't the first time they went to bat to cover up somebody. I mean, we've seen both parties cover up for politicians, Democrat and Republican. I mean, how many times have we done stories about elder Democrat and Republican lawmakers being found in old folks' homes, or either that showing signs of deterioration? Nobody is being responsible. And we wonder why things suck right now. It's because they know that if we knew the truth, that our leaders aren't leading and that there's no one at the helm, doesn't come as a surprise that the ship is crashing. Keep your heads on a swivel out there, folks. They knew, and they expected you to be suckers to believe their lies.